Hi guys, this is Mike Harnett from NFE Systems. Welcome to video number 2 in our BurpSuite series. In this lesson we're going to be looking at the repeater tab. Now the repeater tab is something we're going to be using when we want to do some manual testing on a website. Say we're looking at a website and we find a specific page and we think that potentially one of those one of the parameters on that web page is potentially vulnerable. So what we want to do is we want to send it to the repeater tab so that we can start playing around with it, start manually updating the values, and see what response the server gives us back. Now, to get data into the repeater tab, there are two main ways of doing so. So the first one is when you're browsing a specific website, you view a specific page. What you can do then is go back to the proxy tab and go to the HTTP history tab. And that gives us a list of all the pages we've selected. Now the one at the top is the last one. So if we click on there, we can see the raw data listed below that we're sending to the server. If we look at that, we can think, okay, we want to do some more testing on this. So we can right click and send to repeater, and we see that the repeater tab is now highlighted to say that we've got data stuck in there. So we look at the repeater tab, we'll see there's one tab with that specific data in there. We can then look at updating that, manually testing it, see what responses we get back. So the other main way of getting data is we go to back to the proxy tab, go to intercept, and then put interceptors on. That will obviously stop traffic going to the server and just intercept it for us to look at that point. So if we go back to the web page again, click on view file, at that point we'll immediately see it's stopped or intercepted via burp. So we can look at that data and think, yes, that page is something we were interested in looking at further. So we can right click and same again, just send to repeater. Now if we go back to the repeater tab, we can see there's now two tabs. The first one was the data we got from the history. The second one, the one that's highlighted, is the one we just got from the intercept. Now when you're going through a website, you might find specific pages at that time that you're interested in looking at. So at that point you can right click, send to repeater, and you can do that as many times as you like. So say you find 9 or 10 pages during your first trawl of the web page that you're interested in looking at further, you can right click, send to repeater. After you've finished looking at the entire site, you go back to the repeater tab, and you've then got your 9 pages in front of you for you to then look at further. So it's a good tool. So once we get to the part where we want to start modifying the data, we look at the data and see what we want to change. Now you'll see that there's stuff listed in red. That's all the parameters that potentially may be something that we can look at modifying to see if that is vulnerable. I'm not going to go into the main web application testing part now, as there'll be a separate series on that. But say we want to change, for example, the text I was looking for here is audit-tool.txt. So maybe we're interested in see if there's an admin.txt file in this location. We can just update that, click on go, and that will send the data to the server and then respond it back. So we can do whatever we like here. Maybe we want to add some additional parameters to see if anything comes up. So maybe we want to set admin equals true. Click go, and we can basically send whatever we want. So at the bottom here you've got a search term. So say we're looking for cross-site scripting. Maybe we want to see if admin, for example, see if admin is actually sent back in the response. So we can go to the response tab, click on type admin. There's 22 matches on this one, so we can click on the arrows here just to flick through to see if any of them are related to the admin we sent through. So that's the main part of the repeater tab. But we've also got some other options at the top here. We've got update content length. That's ticked by default. So as you're changing the data in the request, obviously that's changing the content length depending on how many bytes are being sent in the body. So with that ticked, it will automatically update the content length, which is something you're probably going to want to leave ticked. Obviously it unpacks gzips. The other option here is follow redirections, so that's set to default never. I normally leave it that way. So when you send a request, if it's going to send a redirect in this state, you'll see a redirect requested come up the top, and if you want to, you can then follow that redirect, but potentially you're not going to want to some of the time, so I normally leave that off. And under action, we got a lot more stuff in here. Some stuff you're not going to see on your specific BurpSuite, because I've added some additional content, and I'll do another video related to that further down the line. But something you may want to do, so the request we're looking at here is a post request. See in the top here, this is a post request. We might want to look to see, okay, how does the server respond if we change this to a GET request? So we can go to the repeater, action, and change request method. So if we click on that, we now see it's now changed it to a GET request, so we can send that to the server. You know, how does it handle GET request? Does it, will it allow it? Will it reject it? So there's a whole host of things you can do here, but that's a basic introduction in what we need to do on the repeater tab. When you get to the end of the scenario, you might think, okay, right, let's have a look. So this text file thing is interesting. What I would like to do is to send a large text file with a host of different file names and send that to the server to see, you know, if any of them are available. At that point, we'll be looking at using the intruder tab. So from here, we can actually right click and say, yeah, now we want to send this to the intruder. But that's another video. That will be the next video in this series. So hopefully that gives you a basic introduction to the repeater tab. If there's anything you want more information on, or it's not clear, please put it in the comments below. Please like the video if you like it, and also please subscribe. Cheers guys, thanks, bye.